based on the need for Africans to have a program with which they can relate and which seeks to empower them. Now, we are familiar with the Duke of Edinburgh Award program. Now, the Duke of Edinburgh is associated with colonialism. It's associated with the royal family of the United Kingdom, which has carried out a number of atrocities against Africans and their descendants. Even today, the evidence of colonialism exists, whereby, because of economic systems and political systems that seek to hold down the former colonies of Africa, Africans are not able to do the best and realize their full potential. So even after slavery and colonization, the effects of those periods cause us to not really realize our fullest potential. I thought that to have our youth to be associated with such an award that is related to a figure that has benefited from the abuse of our ancestors and has contributed indirectly today to dysfunctional political and social systems, I thought that such a thing would be a dishonor to our ancestors. And so after learning about the state of African diaspora, which seeks to build Africa to the diaspora and the diaspora to Africa, I saw that now the Prime Minister, the head of state, can truly represent the interests of Africans. And because of that, we came up with this program, so that through a number of activities, some which are similar to the Duke of Edinburgh, but there are some that are different, such as the Pan-African knowledge, through which young people can finally come to a true history of Africa, and not just the one that is reported in the textbooks that prevent us from knowing our true selves. Also, there's a category for business development for those persons 18 and above, to empower our youth to take control of their potential. Now, we started with a pilot program with the Ranger Cadet Combined Corps here, with a small group. Our numbers were very greatly diminished by the COVID-19 pandemic. As, in fact, all of these courses started in March 2022, and they have reached the point where they are now. But we wanted a pilot program with a group to see the feasibility of such an award, and we think that it is at a state where we can work with the state of African diaspora to invite youth from all around the globe to participate in an award scheme that's associated with Pan-Africanism. And this is what the Prime Minister's International Pan-African Youth Awards hopes to achieve: getting youth involved in a program that seeks to empower them and bring them back to true African roots. I hope that all the participants have been made better for it, and I hope that persons who will now be introduced to this program will find much benefit, and this will strengthen SOAD, which will cause SOAD to strengthen the African diaspora. Everyone, I hope you enjoy the proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Chase. We will now have an introduction, a brief history of the Ranger Cadet Combined Corps, symbolic handing over of the This will be done by Major Oris Brown.
I have decided to...
Commissioner Chase will be here again to take over. I must apologize though. I should have done this before we started. We're having some technical issues. As you can see, we have the monitor box right here, but it's not here for decoration. Or the mic stopped working this morning. But nonetheless, we're going to have the program going, and our internet is out for some reason. So we have Major Horace Brown doing the pictures and videoing of the ceremony, so that yes, so that you can have it for posting later. So Sir Neil.
Alright, a brief history of the Ranger Cadet Combined Corps. I hope that I am very brief. I've been accused of being a little too... Alright, the organization that would eventually be known as the Ranger Cadet Combined Corps started on September 18, 2012 as the Bremervale High School Cadet Scouts. The Bremervale High School Cadet Scouts was a means of engaging students by involving them in scouting activities with the Bremervale High School Scout Troop, even as they trained as cadets in anticipation of the school getting a cadet unit of the Jamaica Combined Cadet Force, JCCF. Now, at that time, students of Bremervale High School, formerly the Port Maria Comprehensive High School, had many behavioral problems, and the acting principal, then Maureen Cunningham Johnson, and their succeeding acting principal requested that a cadet unit be started at the school. They requested for Lieutenant Chase Neal, an English teacher, to form a cadet unit to help in the establishment of discipline in the school. Now, Lieutenant Neal assisted with reviving the Bremervale High School Scout Troop, and while training the Scouts, with support from the St. Mary and Portland Scout District Commissioner, got approval from his battalion commanding officer, that is from JCCF, to train the students in basic cadet skills until JCCF headquarters approved the installation of a JCCF cadet unit. And so, on September 18, 2012, the Bremervale High School Cadet Scouts was born. The JCCF headquarters eventually denied the school a unit. After a second attempt and another denial, Lieutenant Chase Neal and the principal reached out to the National Inter-School Brigade for a unit and were also denied. Hearing the cries of the parents for a cadet unit, Lieutenant Neal combined the training, the organization of the JCCF and the Scout Association of Jamaica to create a club, which was relaunched as the Ranger Cadet Combined Corps. Now, using the combined training, organization structure, and philosophies of the Jamaica Combined Cadet Force, the Scout Association of Jamaica, and the Web Cadet Corps, which is an internet-based cadet organization based in the United States, the Ranger Cadet Combined Corps was registered as the community service arm and the youth disciplinary training arm of the St. Mary Youth Information Center, as a member organization of the National Youth Council of Jamaica, and as a partner with the St. Mary Parish Development Committee for training youth in disciplinary training and community service. Since then, despite many challenges, such as more established cadet organizations forcefully acquiring more units, that's one of the challenges. Challenges such as time and resource challenges with our adult volunteers, and most recently, the COVID-19 pandemic, which severely cut the ranks. Despite these challenges, RCC, which is the Ranger Cadet Combined Corps, has operated in high schools, primarily those run by churches, primary schools, churches, and most recently has also started operating within youth clubs to achieve the following aims and objectives. One, to develop within its members the principles of discipline, confidence, leadership, responsibility, and community service through adventurous, intensive, and meaningful training. 2, to promote physical fitness in youth. 3, to stimulate youth interest in and appreciation for the military and security forces. 4, to facilitate employment for unattached youth. 5, to bring together youth within communities through positive and engaging activities within a safe, structured, adventurous, and progressive environment. 6, to participate in and assist in promoting parish disaster management and preparedness. Well, am I gone past the brief note? All right, to promote anti-litter and preservation of the environment, to develop and support Ranger Cadet units and extend the geographical reach of the Corps. 10, to engage in volunteerism and charitable acts to render assistance to the poor, indigent, and unfortunate. And 11, to present issues affecting youth and the residents of communities in which Ranger Cadets live before the relevant authorities and agencies, voicing their concerns and advocating on their behalf. It was in furtherance of aim and objective number 2, which is to promote physical fitness in youth, and objective 11, to advocate for issues affecting youth, that the Prime Minister's International Pan-African Youth Awards was seen as ideal for the RCC to conceptualize and promote. In getting young people engaged in volunteering and making a difference, in getting them physically involved and active, and purposefully learning a new skill instead of being stagnant and addicted to technology, in getting them to network with other young people and learn the true history of our African ancestry, in promoting their financial literacy and entrepreneurship, we empower them to face the world. In this way, we promote objective number 4 of the RCC, to facilitate employment for youth. Now, we have tried and tested the Prime Minister's International Pan-African Youth Awards program, and we now hand it over to the State of the African Diaspora as a program through which to empower and unite the youth of the global African diaspora. We are proud to have had SOAD's support in this initiative, and we are open and ready to continue serving as the country's coordinating committee for the awards in Jamaica.
Thank you, Commissioner Chase Neal. We will now have greetings from SOAD, brief introduction of SOAD by His Excellency Vice Prime Minister Hugh Johnson.
Say a pleasant good afternoon to Master of Ceremonies, Captain. May I say a pleasant good afternoon to Commissioner Neal. And I want to give a special thank you to the cadets for your participation, your dedication, and to all our invited guests. I'm here representing Dr. Louis George Tim, the Prime Minister in the state of the African Diaspora, and to extend to you his appreciation for your effort and your dedication to the cause, because as outlined by Commissioner Neal earlier, the essence of the state of the African diaspora is to be the bridge between motherland Africa and its diaspora, which includes over 350 million persons worldwide. So this International SOAD Award is very timely, and to show seriousness with which SOAD is moving to bridge that gap, the Prime Minister sees it fit to offer these awards to the Ranger Cadet Corps. I'm here to act on his behalf. Nonetheless, I would want to share with you some personal gratification and feeling. As a pathfinder and a master guide at a tender age of 16, you can understand the joy that fills my heart by just seeing the cadets march today, because that has been the story of my life, all of my life. I've been a master guide at a tender age, so that speaks volumes as it relates to leadership quality and dedication to detail and discipline. So, without laboring the point, I want to give a special charge to the cadets here today. Within our community, or communities, there are many and varying influences. If you are not focused, if you are not careful, they'll sweep you off your feet without you realizing it and wash you away, just as how the flood water will take you out to sea. So, I must commend you for your participation in this program, but we want to go further and ask you to be focused, to be dedicated, and to be the example of your community. Being an example of your community means being dedicated to the simple rules of discipline, of being courteous even to this discourteous persons around. Be respectful to even those disrespectful persons around. And to love even the unlovable that are around. Because we have them, we know them, we see them. You aren't being asked to be the Christ, the Messiah. You are being asked to be you, to be the best version of you that persons or younger children coming out can emulate your character, your behavior, so that we can, one step at a time, change the trajectory of our homes, and then our community, our parish, then our country, and eventually the world. You may look on this task as a mammoth task and even want to think of it as being unattainable. But I want to share with you that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So I encourage you to take that first single step. And once you would have taken that first step and your feet is land on solid ground, you make the other step. Not counting the cost or the distance to travel, and eventually you'll succeed and you'll get there. As a personal commitment to this worthy cause, I would also want to include, along with the Prime Minister's International Award, is to help you with apprenticeship training. Because our foreparents were taken from their homeland, dispersed across the globe. At some point, the oppressors or colonial masters